As Parliament votes to approve the latest health restrictions, one man decided to stand up to the Prime Minister, and that was Steve Baker. Wow, it was a dramatic day, as usual in Parliament. The members of Parliament decided to once again vote with the Prime Minister with his latest health restrictions. Again, we did warn people back in October that, those who were criticising the protesters, saying that, what are you protesting about? Everything's over now. Freedom Date has gone. Everything, we're free. Nothing's going to come back, because Sajid Javid promised us that, we are not going to introduce anything else, regardless of any mutations or anything like that. Well, things have changed. But Steve Baker in Parliament actually stood up to the Prime Minister. This was glorious, even though, of course, he was on the losing side, but it doesn't matter. He stood up on behalf of a lot of people across the country.
I believe that there is no plausible path set out before us which leads to a genuine public health emergency, and yet the government is choosing to react in the way that it has. So I think, as a result, the government, I'm afraid, once again, is choosing that downward path towards, frankly, hell.
That is actually a fair point, because those who are still criticising me, debating with me, saying that it's just a face covering, it's just for Tesco and Sainsbury's, but not pubs. Apparently, like, nightclubs are safe, but Tesco is dangerous. That's the logic behind Sajid Javid's policy. Now they're talking about more restrictions throughout winter, Christmas. They're talking now about even post-Christmas, more restrictions for January and February. It's not going to finish. That's not how it works. That's why Steve Baker continued here.
Of minute management of our lives by edict, with nothing we can do about it, and not even a say in advance in Parliament. And incredibly, a clear majority of this House is going along with it. Some of us today have got to take a decision to vote no to everything, because I, for one, intend to chart a course towards heaven, and I hope honourable members will come with me.
That was absolutely brilliant. Even the thing is, he knew that he was going to lose. He knew that the majority, especially on the Labour side and the opposition, were going to be voting with the Prime Minister anyway. But it's not the only thing, because sometimes, you have to pick your battles. Sometimes you have to make sure that you have the votes and you win. Sometimes, when it comes to a big chunk of society that are actually silenced because you can't criticise the government, whether it's on social media, but because of the big tech, whether obviously on the streets, you can't really do that properly because they say do not spread fake news. Any sort of debate is not completely being crushed, but we need even a few minority MPs like Steve Baker in there to do these speeches, to vote against these measures, even if they lose. In the next couple of videos, we're going to give you some updates on the clash between Jenny Harris and Boris Johnson, as well as some new update about Ed Davey, the leader of the Liberal Democrats. So subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.